are listening to All Burgundy and Go Everything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. Your host are myself, Wole, and my co-host Glenn, Ray, Jeezy, and Mo are out. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Everything. Also tweet us at ABG underscore everything. Hit us up on IG at ABG underscore everything. I like our All Burgundy and Go Everything Facebook page. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. That's our All Burgundy and Go Everything YouTube channel. What is good, Glenn?
Nothing much, man. It's another week of football, and hopefully the Commanders can get their stuff together.
And hopefully, man, because we talked about it off here, man. Like the fan bases, they on fire right now. They want heads, man. They want heads.
They want heads, brother.
They want explanation. They want it all right now. And Rivera is the whipping boy right now. Sorry to say, he is the whipping boy. Anyway, it's time for the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. We're going to talk about the Commanders possibly trading Chase Young or Montez Sweat. And we'll talk about the Commanders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, which goes down Sunday at 1 o'clock at FedEx Field. All right. So Chase Young had 2 sacks Sunday, and Montez Sweat had a sack. Young has 5 sacks, and Montez right now has 5 sacks and a half. A word on the street is that teams have called Washington for possible trades involving the two. If it was up to you, Glenn, I think I know your answer, but I'm still going to ask you, though. If it was up to you, between the two, which one would you trade and why?
I'm trading Chase Young. And nothing against Chase Young. I think his bounce back, he's been improving.
Yeah.
But we saw this team could possibly win without him. And Montez Sweat is a different dude, right? And then I think you'll get more trade value for a healthy Chase Young than you would with Montez Sweat because of name value and all this other stuff, right? And if you get some kind of offensive lineman out the deal or some real high draft picks, you take that consideration. I mean, I know word on the street was that people looking at 3rd rounders for Chase Young and stuff like that.
That's probably gonna be asking right price for either or. To be honest with you.
Be the market. But again, I want somebody. If you're the Washington Commanders, you want somebody that can come into your organization and kind of fit in, help out right now, right? Help out on your offensive line right now, or maybe I ain't gonna say secondary because I think the secondary is coming along. Yeah, it's what it is. But help on your offensive line right now, or get a linebacker out the deal. You know what I'm saying? Get a linebacker out of the deal that can come in and step up and play right now. And those are the areas of needs that they needed last year and what they couldn't get in the draft. So that's one of the things that they needed to do. So I would trade Chase Young. I think he's having a good season. Some things that he's doing that are not in the stat sheets because he's causing some plays. He's helping the defense. He's helping a Deron Payne get a sack or Montez Sweat gets sacks. There's some things that he's doing that's not tangible right now or that's not seen in the stats. But Chase is having a decent season.
Yeah, Chase is actually having, in terms of like the grades, is probably one of the best defensive ends in football, according to PFF. So he's having like that year, like he's rivaling, like we talk about the Joey Bosa's of the world in terms of creating pressure. I think he may even have more sacks than Joey Bosa at this particular point in time. I've always said I've been more of a Montez dude anyway. So I guess and to your point, I guess you would trade. My thing is you would trade Chase because I think he can give you more. And it's fun. It's funny to say that because I think Montez, in terms of his career, has been more, like you said, Glenn, has been more a given, a constant. Yeah. But I do think that Chase is. I think Chase is generational talent. I think you're getting to see it right now. I don't like the verbiage that I've been hearing, and I've said this on a prior show. I don't like the verbiage of where people are trying to diminish because they don't like. Because there's some folks who just don't like Chase.
Right.
There's some folks who just don't like Chase. But you don't, without acknowledging what the talent you have in the building, right? This is if I expect him to play at this level. This is the Chase that I expect to see play, and this is the type of dude that when he does this elsewhere, because the way he's playing in an offense and a defense that's more freestyle or free going, he's gonna put up better stats than he would put even here. And I would say the same thing to Montez, to be honest with you. I think that these two guys are in terms of what they could do stats wise, they can put up a lot more sacks in a different defense. But that's neither here nor there. But in terms of the two, I would consider trading Chase between Montez. I would trade Chase. But I would, if you ask me, would I want to trade either? No, I wouldn't. I think Washington made a big mistake. I said it before. I said it prior. I mean, Washington made a big mistake with not exercising the option on him. I just think that you should have just took the. I mean, he's your first round. He's your second pick overall. It's not your. It's not like he's a overall bust. Dude was defensive rookie of the year. Then he came off a knee injury. Like the money that you would have held off for him is cheap in the grand scheme of things. For a high end defensive end, it's cheap. So to me, like you messed up, and that again goes to the Rivera regime. Like this is you were in charge of this. You know what I'm saying? Like Payne was different. You know, saying prove it to me because there was nobody else. You weren't like pitting Payne and Allen together, right?
No,
it wasn't like you're gonna have one or the other. Like you knew that basically in that off season, your free agents were gonna be your defensive ends, plural. Like I would have done into to this point like Chase would have been motivated anyway because he's coming off an injury anyway, right? So he would have been motivated anyway. I know the money aspect of playing for a contract is going to put that extra fuel to the fire, but he was going to be motivated because when you come back off an injury, you're already motivated to show the world that you can play ball again. That is your motivation.
Yeah, it is.
So then you would have had Chase another year on Chase. Right, you exercise. You had another year on Chase, and now you're able to franchise Montez, and then work a deal to get Montez, and then you wouldn't have to worry about Chase the following season. So now you're at a point where you're forced to lose one. So because I do believe that you would have to the only way it works to keep both is that you would have to sign one during the season, and then you would have the franchise one in the off season.
Franchise one in the off season.
You can't franchise both in the off season. So if you're not and pitting one against each other, to me, won't work. So like, yeah, I think definitely one has to get traded. I mean, it makes sense to trade them. But someone said this, and I think I read who said this? Actually, it was like listening to like the post game show. I was talking to I mean, Darian mentioned it. I thought it was a great point. He said this organization, like Ron, why would Ron want to trade Chase or Montez, Chase or Montez, or even the general manager? Because like if they trade them, like they're not guaranteed to be here next year.
Yeah.
So why would you trade those players knowing that it can weaken your team? You're not guaranteed to be here next year. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, because you're not going to get, because everybody talks about trade. Usually in trades like for a defensive end, you're not going to get a premier left tackle, right? You're not going to get a premier left tackle. So what are you going to get for in the grand scheme of things? A linebacker is going to give you a situation where, like, yeah, they need a linebacker, but a linebacker isn't going to be a guarantee, depending on what the linebacker is, who the linebacker is, excuse me. It's not a guarantee that linebacker is going to help you win ball games. No, so because you're spread out more nowadays, right? In spread situations. So I don't know. Like it's like when someone said that, I was like, I don't think Chase is getting traded or Montez, but then it does paint the picture of this. It does paint the picture of what everybody talks about being annoyed about this regime. It does paint a picture of, oh, Ron Rivera messed up again.
Right, it does. It does. I mean, he's been quiet. He's been messing up. He has not really, like you said, you broke it down. There's some things he could have done with the money that he could have one of these guys already tied up and locked up. Mm-hmm. Now you're in the season where you're not doing so well, and you have to keep hearing about the Montez or Chase or being traded. He continue to hear about those things, which does nothing for your team's chemistry or psyche.
Facts. So it's interesting. It's obviously, but we're going back to the topic. Yes, I think Chase is the one that probably, I think is the one to be traded. And it's not a knock on Chase. I think Chase is going to be it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal talent. I've been here, touting rocking with Chase, saying that Chase is going to be all right, and I'm glad he's doing all right. But I think in terms of again for this team, the smart play to do with a smart GM wouldn't be to trade Chase. That'd be the smart thing to do.
And get some kind of value, man.
But
second round pick. I don't want to do cash or a player that can play now.
You would have to get a second round. They're going to get a second rounder. It's going to be a draft pick. Anything Chase is getting is draft collateral. Yeah. That's what they're aiming for. I wouldn't want a third round pick because I've seen how that worked with Trent. So I wouldn't want a third round pick.
I knew you were going to break that up, man.
Yeah, I would not. I just don't feel like, I don't think you need to. Especially this situation is a little different for Ron because he just came into a situation. He came into that situation. This is a situation where he's desperate. He's fighting for a job. He's fighting to keep his job.
But
so he can't trade. He can't trade Chase for nothing, like for a wishful second rounder. To your point, Glenn, honestly, if I'm Ron, I'm trading him for a player because that's the only thing that can
Yeah.
help me for the season. That can help me win. That can help me keep my job.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
So how much you talk about Ron Rivera, man. If you think about it, how much change that he did since he's been in Washington, right? How much change has he really done with
How much
player
change?
personnel? Not much.
I don't think he's changed. I mean, to me, I don't think he's changed that much. I mean, they're younger. I will say
Yeah,
that
yeah, he did that. I give him that. They are
they're
younger.
younger,
They
but I
did
don't
try to
know.
go
But to that point, but some of the young talent aren't. He didn't even draft some of the young talent that's really really good on his team. Like Terry McLaurin came from the other regime.
right.
Um, Sweat, Payne, and Allen came from the other regime.
Hmm.
He chose a linebacker. Kendall Fuller is really from the other regime too, but he
Yes,
left. He's from the other regime.
left, but he came back.
And back, he's
He
from
was
the other
gone. What he was gone? What
regime.
3 years? I think 2 or 3
Yeah,
years.
yeah. He's with the other regime. Uh, I guess he drafted St. Juice.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't. He's like his good players are from another regime. It's like the players that he relies on. Chase is his draft pick.
Right.
Uh, but but that was you got basically you have one great year out of Chase, and this year is going to be a second good year out of Chase. So like yeah, but in terms of like yeah, the players he leans on are not the guys he drafted. So I don't know. Like that's a good question, Glenn. I don't know. You got Sam Howell. Um, you got Cam Curl. I guess Cam Curl was in this draft,
Yeah,
right?
Cam.
Cam Curl. Yeah, he's been Chase. So Cam Curl. I guess Cam Curl would be his golden one. Cam Curl and Chase would be his golden picks. Everybody else would be. I would have said Jahan, but after this year, but so far starting this season, it's been a
Yeah,
struggle.
Jahan is struggling right now.
Yeah, I would have said Jahan, but he's struggling. So yeah, to your point, like I don't know what John Ron has really changed. Other than being young, they are younger. But some of the players, it would have been Defoe, but Defoe was playing horrible before he got hurt.
Terrible.
He
Just
was playing
terrible.
horrible. Yeah, Percy Butler, but I think on that touchdown pass that Tyrod threw, that was Percy Butler's fault because he didn't come. He was on that zone and he didn't get there in time. I think that was cover two or two man. He
Right.
didn't get there over time. So yeah, I don't know. Like I think we as Washington fans have overrated some of our young players. So I will say that.
Yeah, I said it too. I think when you talk about draft picks or bringing people in,
Uh-huh.
just haven't seen them do a good job.
Yeah.
Right? We know what the needs are. You have a board of needs. I understand players are up there, this, that,
Yeah.
and other. You need to go towards your need, and your need was an offensive lineman.
That's what I'm saying.
Your
So
need was a linebacker. Right? Those are your needs. I
hmm
understand what the team did in the past, but again, got to be able to do that. So if you could trade Chase to get something to meet your need, do it. If you could trade Montez for something that can meet your need, go ahead and do it. So
yeah. I don't think but it has to be something for him to for Ron, it has to be something for him to win now. It can't be
mhm.
the off season because he's the general manager. I mean, Martin Mayhew, all of Ron's the general manager. Those dudes they ain't saving they're not going to be here. They're not going to be here after this season unless this team does something special,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah,
They're not
but
going to be here. So there's no
oh,
go ahead.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
But Mark, so you have to. It has to be to your point. I'm agreeing with you. It has to be a player. It can't.
Mhm.
It has to be It has to be a player that can help him win now. Like,
Yeah,
because he's not. Just think about it. If you was in that situation and you're not guaranteed a spot for next year, and you have all the power on this organization at the moment, you're not going to trade for a draft pick.
not at
You're
all,
not. You're going
not
to
at all.
trade for a player now who's going to help me.
They can
Because if
help you
I
play.
don't, because I'm right now I'm in a hole. I'm 3-4. I'm in a hole. I need to change. I need to
Hmm.
change. So I need somebody who's going to uplift me. And to be real with you, like just because the situation Ron is in from bad coaching or whatever, I know a lot of people want him to trade. I hear sports talk radio. Other folks they want to trade. I don't see a situation where he does it if he wants to, because you're not going to, for instance, you're not going to get an all pro left tackle for Chase Young. I don't think you are.
Oh, you're not. You're not. You're gonna get
And that's
someone.
what you really need. You need an all pro left tackle. And you're not going to trade Chase for a guard. Guards are like you can get a guard. You're not going to trade Chase for a guard. You're not going to trade. If you give me an impact, I mean, if you can give me a top ten linebacker, I won't argue.
A top 10 linebacker who's in this about
in the
20s, late
middle.
20s.
It has to be a middle linebacker. I don't even say
No.
late, bro. He got to be mid, like for instance, I'll give you a prime example. Like, okay, maybe late. That's not a bad one. Like, if you give me, not me, but like a Darius Leonard with the Colts.
Okay, yeah.
Like, yeah, I can see that, but you would have to give me a draft pick with it, right? Because
Hmm.
he's still, like you said, in age. Give me a draft pick with it. Then yeah, I'm with you, Glenn. I could see that plate trade being done. But again, it has to be like an impactful. Just like how Roquan Smith, like yeah, Roquan Smith went to Baltimore and how now he's trying to like change that team defensive like makeup. So
But Baltimore is different. They got guys that can move, right? Washington, and we saw this past Sunday. Washington linebackers can't cover. I mean,
yeah, I mean
they,
Jamie could cover, but they just can't. He can't cover. He couldn't cover yesterday. I don't know what happened to him
yeah,
yesterday.
and
I mean,
space
that's
is
yesterday on Sunday. Sorry, on
yeah,
Sunday.
and space is different, right? So you need
Yeah,
that guy.
that's
So
true.
and so you got to be able to get your need, man. If it's willing to trade one of those guys, even though you like him, but
Yeah,
you can get something that you can win the NFC East, or you can get in the
yeah,
playoffs now.
yeah,
Because Ron Rivera didn't do himself any service because he should have
yeah,
got rid of one of his coaches. So when he brought EB in, and you wanted to try to save face with the organization or program, you
yeah.
should have got rid of Jack Del Rio.
Sure, exactly. I totally agree. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm really because you hear the rumors and the reports. I'm like, yeah, a trade. And when Darian brought that up, I was like, yeah, that's a good point. Like,
Hmm.
who's he going to really? Like, he's not going to trade something. He's only going to trade something that's going to help him win this year. Like
This
win
year.
now. He's not going to trade anything for like your future for the next coach's future or to help the next coach. He's not going to do that. He's not going to trade to
No,
help the next coach. You know, it's just
he's in self preservation mode, right?
exactly. That's all.
It's self preservation mode. What can I
Yeah.
do to save myself?
Exactly. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. So I mentioned Sunday. Sunday, the Washington Commanders have a home game against one of their division rivals in the Philadelphia
I mean,
Eagles.
play a little bit better at home.
Yeah, they play the Eagles pretty tough. Period. I do agree with that. I think Washington plays better on the road. Period. But that's a whole different discussion.
Yeah.
Do you expect? Let's go this before we talk about the actual game. Do you expect the stadium to be packed with Eagles fans?
Yes, I do. Fly Eagles fly. Not because not because I said it, because it's a short ride. It's a short drive.
Yeah,
Or it's
exactly.
a 2 hour and 30 minute drive, 3 hours.
It's sold out. Glenn, it's sold out.
I
So
know the Eagle fans bought tickets.
he said the Eagles fans bought tickets.
The Eagle
He
fans,
said the Eagles fans bought
the,
tickets.
the
He
Eagle
said, I
fans.
know. The Eagles fans bought tickets.
It's gonna be green. It's gonna be green, gold, and burgundy
Oh
in
man,
that
that's
stadium
funny.
on
Oh man.
Sunday.
I think it's hella funny. That's what
Yeah.
I think it's funny because I think that and right now we got a poll up there on all Burgundy and Go everything X handle right now it's 100% feels like it's going to be nothing but Eagle fans.
Yeah. No.
I
Everybody.
think I think Eagles. I think it'll be a lot of Eagle fans, and I think the Eagles will be the majority. It sucks to say this, bro. I do
Your
think it'll
own
be the
home stadium.
majority. Yeah, I think it'll be the majority of Eagle fans. I just think that what we saw, and it's just something I raised even after the Bears game. I thought the Bears game was going to take a hit. It's going to have the fan base take a hit in terms of like attendance. Those going to take a hit in terms of home games,
Right.
and then that Giants game just was not a good look going into an Eagles game.
No, it's not good. Look.
So now why would fans, and it's the same thing with Ron and all these individuals keep asking for the fans to come and support them, but they never give you a reason to. Like losses like this hinders it from being Glenn when we used to watch this team. When they were called the Redskins, when we
Yeah.
used to watch them. And like, that team always look, sometimes when they were losing, they made you proud, bro.
Be
Like,
proud.
yeah, this is not that type of team because you feel that you're better than certain teams, and you just that you don't see the same level of competition, same level of drive to win a football game, or structure to win football games. And so yeah, why would you just lost to arguably one of the worst teams of football in the Giants and in for one of the worst teams, excuse me, teams plural
Right.
in football in
Teams
the Giants and Bears.
and
So
Bears.
why would you want the fan base to like? How can you figure the fan base is going to
Yeah.
support you and come to FedEx in drones
They're not gonna come in drones. Like I
Yeah.
said, they bought tickets or these bots bought tickets,
and
um,
sell them?
and sell them, rescalp them, whatever the case may be. Give them to sell them to Philly fans. Yeah, again, we know that Philadelphia traveled well. We know Washington at home is not very good. Now, it would have been a different story if Washington had beat the Bears,
And the
if
Giants.
Washington had beaten the
That's right.
Giants. Going into this, now we're talking about, hey, this is a key NFC matchup.
Max.
They barely lost last time. They went into
Yep.
overtime. This
Mm-hmm.
is for it would have made the picture a little bit different if
Yes.
Washington had won those two games. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, you're sitting there like, man, please don't. I'm saying me. I'm sitting there like, man, please don't get blown out.
That's
Right?
what I'm. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, please don't get blown out. Right?
Yeah.
Last time was close. At this time, we need the defense to be more effective, the offense to score. Let's not go overtime and let's not let be blown out.
I'm with you. That's my thought
And
process.
that's how you keep the fan base is by having a good showing. You said it.
Mm-hmm.
By having a good showing is how you keep the fan base. And man,
Yeah.
getting a win is really how you keep fan base. But a
I
good
think
showing.
now I think they're at a point now in the season, like to be real with you, because they're 3-4. If they all right, I don't like using must win, but I use must win in this terminology. It's a must win if
Mm,
Washington. It's a must win for Rivera if he wants to keep the fan base.
it is.
It's that's because a win keeps people, even the Rivera haters. It does keep you steady because now it gives you that positivity of saying, okay, this team can truly be anybody, right?
Now they just got to
And
create the identity.
yeah, so I do think that. But if you don't win this game, because it's an expectation you're gonna lose. Everybody has an expectation, bro. Like everybody.
Right. Yeah, yeah,
I'm in.
definitely.
I'm in this group chat that we do commanders predictions, and every weekend week one with everybody's optimistic. Well, they're winning this game. They're winning this game. They're winning this game. They're winning this game. Now when that Bears game hit, it was a little different. Then now it's changed the thought process of everything, right? So now it's like, oh, they're gonna lose this game. 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 So like, and no one and a lot of folks on that same group. Shout out to the homie Doug. It's Doug's group.
Right.
His picks. But most people have like the Commanders losing, and it's
Mm.
like, and it's not even just losing because that's expected, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's blowouts though. Not even close. And,
It,
and it's a division game because typically division games are close, right? Like
yeah,
typically.
they're tough. They're tight. The games.
They're tight. They're tight. They're tight games.
You
So
the division.
typically. So
Yeah.
typically. So
I
I'm just saying, like, it says a lot to where the so my point is it says a lot to where the fan base is at. You know what I'm saying?
It does. It does. It means a lot. And you got reason that you got fans who are going against the Washington Commanders is because they stunk up the place, right?
It shows you who they
For
are. Yeah.
this last 2 out of 3 games, they showed you who they were, right?
Hmm.
This is not a playoff team. I'm gonna say it now.
Yeah.
At this current point,
Yes. Agree.
right? At this
Agree.
current point, this is not a playoff team, right?
Yeah. It's
This is
not.
not a
Yeah.
team that you want to represent the NFC in the playoffs. Could
Yep.
this team be a playoff team? Definitely, right?
Yeah.
This team could be whatever they want to be if Ron, rest of his coaching staff, get these guys on focus to do what they need to do.
Yeah. If they
And
coach, I mean, yeah. Go ahead, bro.
and
Go
the
ahead.
head and it all falls on Ron. At the end of the day, Ron's name's on everything. At the end of the day, Ron controls the way the players move, the players feel,
Hmm.
whether they come out flat yet again. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Those are type of things where people are looking at like, dang, we're 3-4 going into week 8, and we're still talking about the team not being able to score on the first drive, or the team not being able to stop somebody. They stopped the Giants this week, but not being able to. Good football teams, because you're getting ready to play a good football team
Hmm.
who you just played a couple weeks ago and they
Hmm.
barely beat you. And so, can you eliminate those? Right? Can you eliminate the sacks? Can you eliminate the turnovers? Can you be able to play football with this team?
Yeah, I think to your point, like I feel like their main thing going, and we'll talk about it though, but their main thing going to that game, to the Eagles game, is more than just 'cause they scored again that game in the game in Philadelphia. They scored in the first drive. They scored a touchdown in the first drive, so they did that in that game. But they need to, in my opinion, from learning from that game, and I guess we can use that as a top as a talking point.
Right.
Like what do they need to do differently than what they did in Philadelphia? I would say most importantly is limit the explosive plays. That'd be my first thing.
Yes.
And you're not going to have the young boy Emmanuel Forbes on AJ Brown, right? But I would think that it has to be extra attention on AJ Brown because I feel like that game kind of like unleashed the beast of AJ Brown because recently AJ Brown's gone crazy.
He's gone
Uh,
crazy. He's
he's
gone
gone
crazy.
crazy. He's gone crazy.
Yeah.
So I just feel like and Jalen is looking for him extra. And I do think that does create Jalen to turn the ball over. So
Right, which they didn't do
I
very
would,
well against the last time they played. I don't think they
yeah,
caused
he
any
didn't turn
turnover.
him out. They didn't think he didn't turn him over at all.
Yeah.
So I think that what you should, I would consider doubling AJ Brown. Like I would really consider doubling AJ Brown.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's not a bad
What
plan.
would you do
Doubling
differently? What would you want? What would you want differently from what we saw in the first game?
for the first game, what I want to see a little bit differently. I want to see a little bit more blitz on defense.
Yeah,
Make
agreed.
rush Jalen Hurts, right? He likes to hang on to the ball long.
Right. Yes.
Make Jalen Hurts throw the ball quickly. Get out of Jalen Hurts'
Mm-hmm.
hands
Like
as
that.
quick as possible. Not just so give him opportunity to look downfield. That's why
Uh-huh.
he was able to get the ball to AJ Brown because he allowed things to develop. And
This is true.
as things were developing, he was getting AJ Brown the ball. So just
True.
those simple things where people can teach, take the day off, and
Uh-huh.
whatever if he can teach
True.
and it can develop and get better
Uh-huh.
on and
True.
better in the secondary, get better on the front line, give more pressure to Jalen Hurts, and maybe cause some turnovers and win the clock. I want to see them win the clock, not
Wow.
having to go down the score in the last minute or whatever case to get in overtime. Win the clock early and then have to control the clock
Mm.
to finish the football game.
Win the time possession.
Right?
That's very key.
Yeah.
That's what they did last year in that that big prime time game. They won the time of possession. They held. I think that's a good plan. That's a good point. I feel like also even not countering, but going off what we saw recently. If you're not going to run the ball, you can't run the ball effectively, and it is hard to run the football against that Eagles front.
It is. It is. But
Run some screen if you can't like run the ball. I'm not saying not run the ball, but run some screen game. Do some short screens. Do some short passes. Get these guys in space. Get these running back. Get Gibson, B Rob in space, and utilize the short game as a running tool. Like, cause you gotta get in third and short.
oh, you
Like,
actually
you gotta get in third and short. Like you gotta get in third and short to a point where when I mean third and short, like given the option of if you wanted to run a draw play for the running back, then you can run a draw play. If you want to go some play action and go deep and take a shot, you just now you got the defense on their heels.
mm-hmm.
Getting a third and short to me is a play that you should definitely go for because nobody wants to go on an all out blitz or a crazy blitz, knowing that we've now seen that this old line can't handle
Right.
a crazy blitz situation. So or quarterback, this old line and quarterback. So I do think that you get someone third and short. Maybe you can run a screen game off in third and short. People get real sensitive of trying to screen dial up blitz on third and short, knowing that you only need 3 yards and you run some type of
3 yards.
screenplay and you can run a screenplay that can take that thing to the house. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's very important. To your point, yeah, like I mean, just keep them like for me like for the run game. I know you like the run game. That's my man Glenn's thing. But then but you don't always have to like. I like the run game too. Don't get it twisted. But if you're not effective getting a good yards per carry off the run game, there's other ways you can manufacture the run in the pass game.
It is, and I think we saw it years ago against the other offensive coordinator, right? That we don't talk about.
Yeah,
He couldn't run, but he would get slip screens. He would give bubble screens. He would give bubble up out of the backfield that would kind of institute this is how we're going to move as a running play.
Mm-hmm.
So he was able to develop that. So
and yeah, he was like, his he did it. He was so redundant with it that everybody knew it was coming.
Yeah, everybody knew it was coming. Everybody knew it was there.
And his screen game, the way he kind of, to me, the way he the way he designed it, like folks knew it was happening. That's what got me with him.
They knew. They understood it.
Yeah, they knew it was happening. That's why I was like, yo, bro, like everybody knows it's happening.
And then the Eagles gonna have some players back they didn't have in the first game as well.
Who they haven't come back?
I think I gotta double check see who they got coming back. But
I thought they had the same people. They got. I mean, hell, they had Bradbury. I mean, they have. Oh, they got the trade for Byers from the Titans.
Yes.
He's one of the best safeties in the world too. He's one of the best safeties. They get stronger, man. They get stronger. Like the Eagles. One thing about the Eagles, they do get strong. It's Byers. I think it's Byers. I know they got the trade for the Titans. They got. I want to mess his name up. Is it Byers? Like Eagles. Yeah. Titans. I know I'm spelling his name wrong. So yeah, Byers. Byers. They got Byers. Excuse me, Byers. They got Byers on the trade from Titans. So yeah. But so they're stronger. They're gonna be stronger. I know that much. They're gonna be stronger. But I don't think for what Washington does, I don't know if it's gonna matter who the Because I don't think Byers going to matter in this game. That's my opinion, though. So,
Yeah,
but
man. Like I said, Eagles got only 3 people on the injured list right now, so they're missing a cornerback, Bradley Roby, defensive
yeah,
tackle.
they're still missing the cornerback, Roby.
Yeah, Roby's still gonna be
Yeah, they
out. Well,
slot corner. That's good. Yeah, that's cool. That's good. That's even better.
Milton Williams is limited D tackle his heel, and then you got safety Reed Blankenship, who was a full practice on today.
Oh, okay. Blanket is he play? He played last game though.
Yeah, he
Blankenship
played
played
last
last game.
game.
He got burnt too. He just got
Yeah,
under. Sam Howell's under 3. He got burnt too. They say their secondary ain't that good. I ain't gonna lie to you.
no, secondary's not that good.
Terry owns. It's the truth. Terry owns Slay. I'm sorry. Terry owns Slay. That's a fact. That's just a fact. Slay is
He
great.
does.
Slay is good. Don't get me wrong. Slay is good, but Terry owns Slay. It's just something that's somebody he can't check. It is what it is. It's somebody he can, and Slay know it too.
Yeah, Slay know he
know it
can't.
too.
If you watch the game, if you watch the first game, Slay was always pulling the tag.
Pull him, hold the tag. He know it, and he know
yeah,
it too.
Yeah, he know.
He know. It's just that matchup. That's their best corner. That matchup, I'm not worried about. Believe me, that matchup, I'm not worried about.
And I'm gonna say it here. Jahan should eat because he doesn't have a lineup against Slay, and because there should be some openings on that side of the ball.
Oh,
If cross your fingers and your toes, if Sam Howell doesn't get sacked like 8-9 times.
Oh, he's all right. So I'm gonna tell you this again, man. This is the truth. And we'll talk about Sam Howell. We have a question about Sam Howell. There's a question I have about Sam Howell, but he's going to get sacked about 5 times. I think I need everybody to like. That's the one thing it's a guaranteed.
That's the magic
certain
number.
Things in life are guaranteed. Their taxes, church, you know what I'm saying, and ignorant people. Those are guarantees in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Sam Howell getting sacked about 5 times, it's almost a guarantee. So unless like you're running the ball like predominantly and you're running nothing but like screens or whatever, he's gonna get sacked. And some of it's Sam's fault. I'm not gonna argue and say it's not. But a lot of it's that bad offensive line. No one's gonna tell me any different. I don't care how much tape you watch, how much tape you want to put out there, like you whatever. So a lot of it is
you got a center.
Line.
You got a center who gave up 3 sacks last week.
Like
nobody's running on Nick Gates, right? Because Nick Gates gave up sacks last week.
He gave up sacks. Like, and he got ease and with no restraint, bro. Like again, it's this. Here you go. It's the same thing, bro. It's his front office, man. Like, I'd rather have Larson from last year than Nick Gates. Like, for real.
Right. And Nick
and
didn't
back up. Larson was Tyler Larson's better than Nick Gates. You know what I'm saying? He better than Nick Gates. So sorry. Like, no one's gonna like this front office and Ron Rivera. The choices, man. The choices. It's gotta be. You gotta be better. Like, you gotta be better.
You gotta be better, and you also gotta tell people, right? Because again, sometimes you see these guys come out and lay it on the line. Let's be honest, defense only gave up 14 points to a bad football team.
Bro, thank you, Glenn. Because I was trying to tell people on the post game, like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm not. Like, it's 14. We have people out here that's like being negative, and this team gave up 14 points. But go ahead, continue, Glenn. Go ahead.
Gave up 14 points. So therefore, offense has to score. I think I said a couple weeks with George, who was on the show. EB doesn't get any more passes from me, right?
Yeah.
EB doesn't get passed. We all know the offensive line is terrible. Offensive line is trash. Have the game plan that you had against Denver. Get the ball out of his hands quickly, right? If nobody's over, Sam, go ahead and run. Get out of the tackle box or throw it out of bounds. And you don't have to take sacks because, again, even on Sunday, there were sacks that took us out or slowed down momentum when you're driving the football. Yeah. Slow down momentum when you have guys open. Slow down the momentum. So he has to understand the balance of this thing and be able to get it into the wheel type windows. And that's just my thing.
I'm with you all the way. I mean, I love you. First of all, I'm biased to EB because I want EB. EB's good. Yeah, EB's good. But you like you though. I agree with you. Should I keep it 100, dog? Like, when somebody does something wrong, they do something wrong. You got to call them out on it. That's what it is. Like, we can go ahead and make excuses, and we can say Sam didn't come here. I've heard this. Sam didn't move protection correctly. Like he didn't take the underneath route when he was looking for the deep play. He took the underneath route. There's somebody open. He just took that, and that's all. These are all true facts, man. These are all
things that she's learning because let's not forget the guy hasn't been in the league 5 years. He's still on his second start, and he's his second time in the NFL. He had one last year start against Cowboys. So he's this is going into week 8. The guy's only had 9.
He's only had 7. He's only had just 3 and 7. So he's only had 7. He's only had 8 starts.
So they're going to this ninth. This would be his ninth start.
This will be his
So
ninth start. He's only yeah. This will be his
it'll be
ninth
his
start.
ninth start. What do you expect out of the guy who is ninth start? Right. Look at Trevor Lawrence a couple years ago when he was a rookie,
He
and on
struggled.
mistakes
Well, he
he
had Urban
struggled.
Meyer though. That sucked.
Yeah, he had Urban Meyer. He had Urban Meyer, but then again,
I
he
get your
still
point though. Yeah, yeah.
yeah
He
he
still, yeah, it
sucks. So
wasn't good. It wasn't good.
you
Yeah,
got younger quarterbacks who are in the wrong system and they may get stuck.
that's
So
true, bro. That's true. And also, I mean, even like to your point though, bro. Like with that being said, he's 8-8 as a starter in the league.
yeah,
So to your point, like that's not if you tell a rookie quarterback or a super young quarterback, whatever you want to call it, you're 8-8 as you're in your first 8 games in the NFL. What would you tell them? That's not bad. That's what I'm saying. Like it's
not
not
bad.
bad.
Let's
We got to
improve on it,
chill.
fella.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's confuse on it. Like we got to chill with how we. I swear I hate our fan base sometimes. I just like I'm trying to be like I'm trying. I know.
The fan
Yeah,
base had to be patient, man. The fan base want to turn.
yeah.
Think about the fan base. The fan base want to see. They saw Josh Harris. They saw Magic Johnson. They see all this thing. They see all the bells and whistles. They expect. They want to turn around like tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And not knowing that it's going to take time, effort, energy, money, not only from them but also on players to be able to invest in the new change, invest in
Mhm,
things that's going on, invest in community. They invest in all this. It's going to be a
mhm.
change.
No, I agree. I just feel like they need to like relax and like they're just too negative. But I will say like so back to Sam, like we mentioned, the struggles of Sam in terms of like the hits he took, and he didn't play well against the Giants. That's the truth. He didn't.
Yeah,
I
it
did.
is.
I like some things. I like that last drive before the one that Jahan dropped. I like that drive because I thought he showed moxie and heart. But do you expect him to bounce back against the Eagles? Because he did play well against the Eagles the first outing. Do you expect him to bounce back against the Philadelphia Eagles?
I do because he's a competitor, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a competitor. He thought they should have won the last game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now he's going to do everything in his power to do to make sure they win this game or try to attempt to win this game.
Uh-huh.
That means running down the field, tackling somebody, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to be try. Sam Howell is going to do better here because again, he watched film,
Mm-hmm.
see all his mistakes were at. It
Mm-hmm.
hasn't been that long since they played this team. They know what his strengths are, know what he did well, know what he did wrong. And so now, as a good coaching staff or good offensive coordinator, good quarterback, where EB and Sam are, I've heard they get along very well.
Oh, they do. They get along well.
Right
Yeah. Yeah.
now, it's up to EB to put Sam in comfortable positions
I
and
agree with that.
situations where Sam can be successful against the Philadelphia Eagles this week.
I agree. I agree with everything you just said. I'll just add this. I should have just added. I shouldn't have just said Sam. I said EB because EB needs a bounce back day. So I do think this is. I just knowing it, just seeing from a distance, not knowing, but
Right,
seeing
right.
and hearing from other reporters the temperament of EB. I do expect for this week of practice to be intense. Um, I expect this week of practice to be more of a, wanting everything to be perfect,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Paying attention to detail. Because I think from what I gathered and from we've heard here, we've had multiple reporters on this show that he's a stickler for details. He's detail
Yes.
oriented. So I do expect that this practice will be more high. It'll be heightened. And let's keep it a buck, man. I know, people want to say you would play this people to play this team the same way you would play another team. But bro, there's some games you just get up for, bro. You
Yeah,
know
this is
what
a
I'm
game
saying?
to get up for.
There's some games you get up for. And what I mean by that is like when you are the underdog, there's something about it. When you're the underdog and everybody writes you off, and then you got a guy out there. You got a guy out there up there in Philadelphia in
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts. You got AJ Brown who bust you know what? The last time
Yes.
you was here, there's incentive, right?
All right, then incentive
There's
to do it.
incentive. There's incentive. So I do think if you're Eric Bieniemy and you're hearing the noise, you're hearing everybody out here talking about, yeah, you ain't it. You
Mm-hmm.
can't be it. You ain't. Yeah, Andy Reid has ran this thing. You ain't run nothing. Oh, Eric, I'm done with Eric Bieniemy. I got this on Twitter. I got this on X. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like I got
it
this
can't
on
be
X.
done. The dude has. This is what I tell people: look at the numbers, right?
Yeah.
The numbers say he has improved over the last offensive coordinator. You
Yes.
brought him in. You brought him in to
Yes.
improve. AB does not play defense, right?
Yeah.
EB doesn't play corner, safety, none of those things.
Yeah.
So again, he can do very well, but it's up to it's a team game. The other half
Yeah.
has to get the job done too.
Agreed. No, I agree. I mean, but but you are in the NFL. It's about what have you done for me lately, and lately is what the is that great is that Giants game, right? That's just what
Yeah,
it is. And
lately
that's
the Giant
everybody.
game
Yeah,
dumpster fire.
and everybody is and that's what they want to. That's what they want to. To hold their heads up. Hold their heads on is that game. So if we're gonna do that. That's fine. But in terms of what I've seen or heard about EB, I expect EB to be on it and to be on them
Yeah.
dudes, to be on the O lineman, to be on Sam Howell, to be
Hmm.
on Jahan Dotson, to be on a Terry McLaurin, to be on all these dudes, bro.
Hmm.
Like to be on Nick Gates, who the center, to be like, hey, it's like that's not acceptable. Like what happened to you is
Right.
not acceptable, and I think that Ron, I think you're Ron and Bienemy, Del Rio,
Right.
all of them. They're in a situation where they got to work, and if they got to work together. And what I mean by that is, it's funny because they're all fighting for the same thing.
They off, but they can't get on the same page.
Yeah, but they'll have to now, because they got to. It's like it's get to a situation where you got to bond together. What I mean by that is that your job is definitely not secure.
No.
And I would argue to say the way the season is going, it's an above 50%, way above 50% chance that you won't be here next season unless you do something special.
Right.
So that's it should be a rally cry for everybody to be on the same page. What I
Yeah.
mean by that is Jack gotta want Ron to be successful. Jack gotta want EB to be successful. Ron gotta want both of them dudes to be successful because at the end of the day, if either of them are not successful, they the third person is is not successful, and they're all losing their job. Together, there are a team in the truest form. Sometimes in a situation, it's like, all right, man,
Hmm.
that coach ain't doing his job. He gonna be fired, but I'm straight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like EB, as much as we all love EB, the way it's going, like if Ron gone, he could be gone too.
But
And I don't want to say, and I like EB. I'm just keeping the buck, but that can happen.
I equate EB like the new girl that come to school, right?
Yeah,
She just moved into school.
yeah,
Everybody likes her,
yeah,
right? Until a couple of weeks, you find out what she's like
yeah,
or what he's like. Don't use
yeah,
new girl or new guy, and
yeah,
then you found out and you realize. So I think EB's warm welcome
yeah,
is starting to wear off with the fan base.
yeah.
Now, is it justifiable? Not,
Not
not.
real. I don't think so.
I
But
don't
yeah, I know
think
what you're
so.
talking about.
If the man's running for his life, can't get the ball around.
Yeah,
It's not just so. Again, he has focus has to go to the office. Has to go to the offensive line.
yeah.
So now
That's Ron's fault.
that's right. Focus has to go to the offensive line because again, he has to coach the offense up. He's the offensive
Yeah,
coordinator. He
yeah.
but he knows what he has and what he doesn't have. And I think we'll see more linemen start coming in for the Commanders. But again, got to be able to do that.
And they also probably missed Sadiq Charles, who got hurt in that game. So I'm guessing
Correct. I forgot about Sadiq Charles. Yes.
he got hurt. And I'm guessing maybe Chris Paul. Chris Paul played okay last season when he got an opportunity. Could be
Mhm.
Chris Paul. Could be the rookie they had out of like he came in the game too sometime too.
Okay.
What's the rookie's name? The guy from the guard center they picked up in the draft. The third round pick. I think it was a third round pick for them. He came in the game.
Okay.
He's losing. I'm just losing track of
Yeah, I
my
can't remember
mind.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll look it up later. But he could play, and then also my man Mayo. I mean not Mayo. My man Cody Barton. I miss Cody Barton already because Mayo got playing. I
Mayo
miss
couldn't
him.
catch up, man. Only thing I can remember Sundays, Mayo's trying to catch up and
Catch up
cannot.
that dude. He is so slow.
And try to catch the dude, couldn't
He
catch the
is so slow. He is so slow. I mean, he made one big good play, and I felt so. Ricky Stromberg. That's who I'm thinking of. Ricky Stromberg from Arkansas. He may play. I actually think he should play center and just knock out Nick Gates and let him play center. But
dude.
um,
I
but yeah,
mean, Nick Gates was able to call up pressures and stuff like that. He just couldn't
yeah.
stop.
I mean,
He
you know what? Like,
couldn't stop
I mean,
the run.
that's cool. I mean, I'm over that like that call and play stuff. I just want you to block. It's the same thing. Like it was like with Cody Barton, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I miss you, Cody. Real talk. I miss you, Cody. Um, like him saying, Cody calls great plays and gets people set up, but he wasn't really being forceful as a linebacker. You know what I'm saying?
Got to do it when it
Uh,
counts, man.
you gotta do it. But so same thing. It replies like that's why I'd be like play Khalid Hudson. But Khalid Hudson ain't gonna play
Mm-mm.
over Mayo. Then Cody, come back. I miss you. Come back. I wish
Come
you a
back
healthy
because
return.
Khalid Hudson is the athletic guy who's going to make plays.
That's what I want.
He's going
I
he's
just want
going to
people to
make
fly
plays.
to the ball. I just
He
want people to
flies to
fly
the
to the
ball.
ball. That's
He
what I
flies to the
want.
ball.
I don't care if you mess up. I just want you to fly. I'm at
And
a point where I just want you to fly the ball. I don't even care anymore.
yeah, I just want to. I just want to see defense fly around, and have fun, right?
Yeah, have fun, man. Like
But
just smack somebody. Like all this, you see, see. This is where I think some people make defense a little too complicated.
mhm.
Players like to fly around to the ball and smack people.
Yeah, even with the new rules in the NFL, I mean,
Yeah, they still want to. They still want to do it. Like
I
that's
still
what they
want to
want to
do it.
do. That's what I
I still
do.
want
You know what I mean? When you say, oh, you got to make sure you be here. You got like no, follow man, find ball, follow ball, find man, check man. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep, that's it.
and
Very simple, not complicated.
yeah, then you'll be okay. But I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, um, they're gonna have some shit. They're gonna have some situations to really work on in terms of how they can what they're gonna do in terms of like the O line. Because again, I mentioned Sadiq Charles is it gonna play? So it could be Stromberg or it could be Chris Paul. Then truth be told, like you still have an issue. We talk about Nick Gage. Um, he he's a problem. Nick Gates, excuse me, he's a problem.
Yeah, he's a problem.
Nick Gates, he's
He's a
a problem.
liability up front.
Yeah, especially if you got one of them dudes as a D tackle, right? We saw it like Lawrence and Williams. They abused that man. They violated him. They really did
Yeah,
violate him. I don't even know how you like face yourself in the mirror after a beating like that. Like I would
you can't.
personally like I would be mad as I'd be mad. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd be mad about my life if that ever happened. Like it's
But
like I
yeah,
get like you
terrible.
might not be as good as those dudes, but like to be embarrassed off the rip like that, like without a blitz or a stunt, like just to be manhandled, that's abusive. Like that really is. That does something to your soul.
Sunday was almost worse than the Bears, right? I know we watched some prime time
I think
Sunday.
it may have been. I think it may have
It's it's
been. I
it's
know
close, dog. It's
it's close,
close.
man. It's close, man. It's close. It really is close, though.
It's close because again, there should never be a reason where the whole team totality, right? I'm gonna say the whole
Yeah,
team is not
was.
living up to the 100%,
Yeah.
right? I mean, let's put it this way. I'll put it this way: 46 total yards in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible as an
Yeah.
offense, right?
Yep.
Terrible. Defense has given up. By the time Tyrod Taylor had like over 150 yards, right?
Uh huh.
Terrible,
Yep.
terrible. So it's not just one side of it's everybody as a collective unit, commanding organization have to get their head out of their tails and go play
Yeah.
football.
I would say. I mean, I wasn't. It's hard. Like it's. I know the D. Like it wasn't. They didn't have the greatest. It's even at the first half. Like they gave a 14 the first half, right?
Hmm.
Like, but I'm not even like it could. But to me, they didn't play to their capability, but they kept themselves in. They had it. But I blame the first half. Like if you got a bunch of 3-and-outs, right? And I want to keep going back to okay, because we talked about the old game already. But
Right.
you have I'll say this: you have a bunch of 3-and-outs, right? Your defense is going to give up something because Washington's doing nothing but 3 outs, 3-and-outs,
You'll,
three and
you'll,
outs.
you'll be tired. You're gonna end up with a short field.
Exactly. So the first, but to completely shut a team out in the whole first half, the whole second half, which showed me a lot. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them. I think the defense is getting better though. That will say. I'm interested to see how
They
the
are.
defense. I am interested to see how the defense matches up against this Eagles team. 'Cause I think they're playing way better than they did against when they before way better compared to what they did against the Eagles in the first time around. So I do
Yeah.
think that the Eagles are playing a better Washington team. I'm just hoping that this Washington's offense can be what we saw in Philadelphia.
Yeah. I think they're playing a better. I think they're playing a better team as a whole, right? Philadelphia
Hmm.
team, and
Yes, that's it.
I think
That too.
Philadelphia is playing a better Washington team
Defensively,
defensively.
yes, defensively,
Offensively, I think this team has kind of regressed a little bit.
agreed.
And defensively, yes, they're playing better. Offensively has come down and regressed. So
I agree with that
not
statement.
necessarily not knowing what we're going to get on Sunday as of right
Yeah,
now.
I
So
don't know. I do not know. I have no idea whatsoever what we're getting on Sunday. You're asking the wrong person. I'm not going to do any
that's gonna be
predictions.
too, man. I'm just came on a podcast thinking, you know what? I know we don't pick on the podcast, but do I say, man, I'm just go ahead and pick the Commanders, or do I go ahead and pick,
Oh, I know I'm a pick. Oh, I know I'm a
Philadelphia
pick.
Eagles? Yeah,
Yeah, you should pick. Just be real. Pick the Eagles, man. You know what it is.
Eagles. Yeah. I'll pick Eagles. I'll pick Eagles because again,
Pick the Eagles,
not
man. It's just
that
it is
this
what it
team
is.
is not capable of beating the Philadelphia Eagles, but the body of work shows
Work.
that this is not a good game for them. Matter of
Yeah,
fact, body of work showed us last week, and history has showed us that we knew they were going to lose the game to the Giants. We just didn't know which.
yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. We didn't feel comfortable about it. That's what made it. That's
Yeah,
when you knew
definitely
something
talk about
because they're bad. The Giants are a bad team, and you still didn't feel comfortable
it.
about it. That's what Ray said, and I totally agree with him. Was like,
Mm.
you're concerned about Daniel Jones and Tyrod Taylor. You know it's a problem.
You got a problem. Yeah,
You got a
yeah.
problem. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean,
that's when I knew, like, you
so,
know what?
so
To your point, yeah.
to my point, go back to what you said last week. I was right. I guess I wish they would have played Daniel Jones over Tyrod Taylor. Or
I
would they
don't. They're the
same
same
result?
thing. It's the
Okay,
same
same.
thing. Like George said that too. Like George kept saying Glenn was right. Glenn was right. I saw it on YouTube and everything. And I was like, George, they only gave up 14 points. Like, is it a
Yeah, but
big deal?
Tyrod threw some dots, man, and Tyrod threw some dots. The
He
one
threw that
where
one dot, like he threw a dot, but them dudes were open. Them dudes were always open. Them dudes were open. Like Hyatt was already open.
yeah,
Hyatt was burning St. Jude's. Like, and then I would argue, say, I ain't gonna lie to you. Tyrod ain't as fast as he used to be. Because he had Mayo ran him down. Daniel
mm,
Jones is Mayo is not running down Daniel Jones at all.
no, no, not at
So
all.
I think that Tyrod would have had some more. I just think he would have had. I mean, I think what's his face? Danny Dimes would have had some more rushing yards. But you know what? It's hard to like. I don't like using Danny Dimes compared to other teams. That's not
Right.
my never my argument. He kills this team. That's my argument. It's not. It's never about because Danny Dimes would look bad against other teams in the past, and then
But
when he
when he
plays
plays the
Washington,
Washington, baby,
it's like freaking he's freaking Peyton Manning
like
with
the
oh
lights, the
yeah,
lights
it's
come
like he sees burgundy and gold or whatever black jerseys, I don't know what, and then he's like, oh my god, like he's throwing darts, he's accurate. Man, I
Yeah,
don't. That's one dude I do not like seeing as Washington. I'm sorry, but either way, don't matter. They still lost. They were
yeah,
losing to anybody, man. Shoot,
yeah,
they would have lost. They would have lost to anybody.
yeah,
That's the team they are. 14 points, bro. They shut down the whole half and still they couldn't manage 17 points, dude.
17 points. That's
They
it.
couldn't manage 17 points. That, my friend, is crazy. So who do you expect Glenn to play well
Uh,
against the Eagles?
I expect Jahan. I'm gonna tell you why I expect Jahan.
Okay.
Because
That's good, man.
If Jahan,
That's what's up,
after
man.
he had that drop last week, Jahan is determined. He didn't even go to the middle of the field. Jahan is like, you know what? I need to regroup myself. I need to refocus. I need to go ahead and catch these ball. I think Jahan's gonna have a breakout week this week against the Philadelphia Eagles. And of course, you know me, I always want a running back to do well too. So
Okay, there you go. Well, I look, you almost surprised. I thought you almost surprised me and stick with the
no,
wide
I'm gonna
receivers.
stick with Jahan. I'm gonna stick with
Oh, okay.
Jahan.
Okay. I thought you were gonna use okay. That's it, just John.
No, but I
Okay.
do want to see not a running back, but I want to see Sam Howell get out the pocket more. So I mean, if he becomes a rusher, get out the pocket and run the ball.
I wouldn't be, you know what? Now you say that I wouldn't mind Sam Howell doing some like doing more read option with Sam Howell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you already get hit enough. Might as well do a read option.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind him do more read option, kind of keep everybody honest.
Then off of that, you can run screens, slip screens,
Yeah, yeah. I
shovel
think he more,
passes.
yeah, he more honest. For me, yeah, no, Jahan's a good one. It wouldn't be Jahan though for me. Who do I expect? I mean, Terry's easy, so I'm not gonna say Terry. I
Thanks,
just said
Harry.
that's easy. I'm not gonna do that. Huh. Who do I expect to play well?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Why not? You got trade talks. Why not put you in the fire?
Okay.
I expect Chase to play well. I think he's on a roll right now. He had 2 sacks last game. I think he's on a roll right now. I think
Yeah.
he's starting to get pressure in his zone. This is going to be the best one. This is the best offensive line in football in the Philadelphia Eagles. So he'll be going against. But he got pressure. He had a sack against the Eagles last time, I believe. I think he had a sack and a half.
Mhm.
No, he had a sack. He had a sack against the Eagles last time. So I do expect him to put in pressure. And I'll even put another one. I expect St. Juice to do a better job than Emmanuel Forbes against AJ Brown because St. Juice is physical. I do think that does help him against AJ Brown because AJ Brown's not a speed demon. And but he's a good route runner. He's a very good route runner for a strong dude. But you need help though.
You need help.
He needs help. But I think he can play. He can play him well. He can play him well. So I will say that I expect St. Juice to play well, and I expect Chase to play well. On
I,
the offensive side of the ball,
I need that one of St. Juice because St. Juice Hyatt was cooking St. Juice, and St. Juice needs to make a redeem
his
himself.
side was cooking him. And it was while I was into the radio, and they were saying that St. Juice played well. I was like, oh, see, that's why I don't like listening to the radio because he was
Yeah,
getting
they're
cooked.
biased.
High was getting that doing that work.
He did that work.
High was doing work. And now, did he get the ball all the time? No. Like he was getting work. If it was an accurate pass on some of them joints,
Yeah.
it would have been far worse. So, like, and then St. Juice gets away with a lot of PRs. I'll say that much.
He
He has a
does.
lot of holes and
He's
PRs,
a lot
bro.
of hugs and a lot of holes
Yeah,
and tugs in the
yeah,
back and pulling
yeah,
back of the player
yeah.
jersey in key
He's
situations too, though.
yeah, like because he does it all the time. Because he does it all the time. That's the problem. Because he does it because he doesn't know when is what. Because he gets beat. That's what you know
Hmm.
what I'm saying. I would choose Emmanuel Forbes, but I don't know if he's gonna play or not. That's my guy. I still rock with Emmanuel Forbes. And I do expect Sam Howell to bounce back though.
Yes,
I do expect him to bounce back. I
and
really do.
he's doing
So
the right things. He's not saying much, and he just focuses on football.
I will say, yeah. So I will add this one because I think we briefly touched on it. But for you, how much pressure is it for Ron? I said it's a must. I believe it's a must win for Ron if he wants to really keep his fan base and the morale of his team going. I think it's a must win. I know I've used must win a lot, but I do believe it's a must win. But for you, how much pressure is on Ron to get it to have a forget win to have a good showing on Sunday?
Oh,
Truth
it's
be
big.
told, I want to say good showing. How much pressure? Like, do you think is how much? Do you think Ron must win this game for multiple reasons? But do you think
Yes,
Ron must
if he
win this
wants to
game?
keep the noise down, he can win. He wins this game. To stay in contention in NFC East, he needs to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
To stay within the DC fan base, to not keep calling for his job, he needs to win this game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, to be able to get your young guys to understand we can compete against this team, and they come out and perform because they're playing against a team that they played before. He needs to win this and take advantage of everything that is given to the Commanders. Listen to us, listen to people, find out what works best, right? It is a must win, and for God's sake, if you lose, don't his boring press conferences. Give us the truth, right?
That's the truth. Give us the truth. Don't give us a
Give-
lie.
Yeah, don't give us a lie. Give us the truth, right? Just give me the truth. I didn't kick this field goal. I didn't go for two here. I didn't know
Yeah.
what down it was. Let's not be, try to cover yourself at this point.
All
You
right, Ron.
got
This is
to teach the
yeah.
kids how to teach the kids how to perform and let them perform.
Facts,
And not
Ron.
kids, not kids,
You're
grown
playing.
men, right?
Bro,
Grown
man,
men,
I know you're
right?
saying. I know you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying because you're a coach. I get it. So Ron, this is what I'm Ron, Coach Rivera. If you watching the show, I'm gonna call you Ron. I'm gonna call you Ron. Ron, I'm gonna give you some advice, man. Like, and you may not want to listen to me, and it's cool because you know more football than me. You do. It's a fact. Like, you've been in this league for years. You played and you coached. But I'm gonna give you just a different perspective and just in terms of competition and whatnot. You're going. If I would talk to my team and just tell them like, you know what, you guys are like you're a talented group of men,
Hmm.
one of the most talented group of men. Period. That team over there ain't 10 times better than you. Ain't better than you at all.
Right.
I would point at Sam Howell and say, Sam Howell, are you better than Zach Wilson? And then Sam Howell's gonna say yes. And then Ron should say go right back and say, you know what? Why? That's good. You know why? Because that team couldn't beat a Zach Wilson. Then I'll look at the defense and say, yo, defense, are you better than a Jets defense that doesn't have Sauce Gardner or Reed out there? Are you better? That defense is gonna come back and say, dude, we better than them with them. Well, guess what? That Jets team didn't have Sauce Gardner or Reed and still beat the Eagles.
Yes.
Then I'm gonna talk. Then I'm just gonna break it down and be like, you know what? That Jets offensive line ain't the best, but they were still able to beat the Eagles.
Give the ball a
And I'm, you
chance quick.
know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, yo, EB, do you think we got more weapons than the Jets? I mean, they know they got Garrett Wilson. Hold
Follow
on,
follow the blueprint.
follow the blueprint. That's all I'm
Follow the
saying.
blueprint.
Follow it. Like, so I'm gonna look at Jack. I'm gonna say, Jack, hey Jack, can you copy that? Or can you do better? I'm gonna need Jack to say I can do better, bro.
I
I'm
need
gonna
a
need Jack
defense
to
to,
say,
yeah.
I'm gonna need Jack to say, I'm just saying that for Ron, let them dudes know the Eagles are unbeatable.
No.
Let them know, yes, the Giants beat the Commanders, right?
Right.
And it sucks because the Giants looked at Washington with confidence when they looked at that schedule. I need
Oh
the
yeah.
Commanders to have to look at the. I need the Commanders to look at the Eagles the same way.
That's coaching though. The mindset
Exactly.
of the mindset of the week, right? How do
Mm-hmm.
you keep these guys motivated? Hey, we almost were there this week. I know we made mistakes. Let's fix those mistakes. We can bounce back from this terrible loss to this terrible loss to the
The Giants.
Giants with a big win against the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what I'm
Yeah.
preaching all week.
Yeah. That's all I need. That's all we need. That's
Right.
all they need. Do that. Preach that. Let them know that you guys still and you got a reference. No one believed in us the Monday night.
No.
No one believed in us. We were supposed to get blown out. Truth be told, no one believed us in Philadelphia
Right.
a few Sundays ago. But we
Nope.
had that game. We let them off the hook.
Let them off the hook.
We had that game. Ron needs to go ahead and talk to these players like that. You say, you know what? This is our house.
Yo,
We haven't respected our house yet.
not at all.
But we got green coming here. We got green coming in here. We need to take this. We need to own them at our house.
That's it.
That's all
Return
you need to
serve.
do. You know what I'm saying?
Return
Let them
serve.
know. And
Return
if
serve.
Ron could do that, Ron, I'm here. Ron, if you could do that, I guarantee you get a W.
Yeah.
But if you go ahead and do it like what Glenn said, do your folding your arms thing, telling us lies,
No.
you know what I mean? This nonchalant mentality, then you gonna be 3-5.
And you're
You
gonna be out
gonna
the
be
door
3-5.
and hear all the noise for the rest of the week.
Yeah. So you got a choice, Ron. You listen to the All Burgundy Go Everything, and you right. Choose to listen to some other pod, and you're wrong, bro. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah.
All right, man. Time to close the show. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Everything. Also tweet us at ABG_everything. And hit us up on IG at ABG_everything. And like our All Burgundy and Go Everything Facebook page. And make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Go Everything YouTube channel as well. Make sure you tune in to our pregame show, which will go down at 12 noon on Sunday. And also our postgame show, which will be directly after the game. You can catch that on Facebook Live, X Live, and also YouTube Live. You know what I'm saying? So check us out. If you want to comment, make sure you're on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And YouTube Live. You can comment. We'll see all of it. X don't do it. X, you can't really comment anymore.
Nah.
Yeah, that dude,
That
Elon,
dude's messing it up, man.
Elon messing everything up. You gotta subscribe to something, pay money to comment on
Money.
streams. Come on, man. Elon insane. So make sure if you want to tune in to all that live and have a conversation with us, y'all know where to find us. We here for y'all. We want look, man. We don't want. I need this team to win because folks been venting on the shows, and it's cool. I like the interaction. I want to have a party, bro. I want to be happy.
Celebration,
you know what I'm saying? I want a celebration, man. I don't want that negativity talk, man. I don't want to come here trashing Ron Rivera, trashing EB, trashing Cody Barton, he's not there, or trashing Mayo, whoever, ketchup, mustard, whatever. I ain't trying to I want to represent, man. I want to be happy. I want to be merry. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's get a W, man. Let's get a W for real. Anyway, man, thanks for everybody for listening and tuning in. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Go Everything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia, for ages. You dig? Deuces, we are out.